8 ridiculous moments in Reacher where all logic was thrown out the window. Reacher is amazing. A deft balance of action and drama, coupled with Nick Santora's spiced-up versions of author Lee Child's literature plots, has earned the show the admiration of both book loyalists and new fans. Even when Jack Reacher is swimming in extraordinary waters, the showrunner does his best to ground everything in reality so that the saga remains understandable and relatable. But don't expect him to be neat 100% of the time. As is the case with many action-themed movies and TV shows, things can get silly in some instances. At times, events move so quickly that logic can't keep up, though this doesn't make the show any less fun. Viewers are used to it. After all, this is fiction, not real life. Even so, it's worth noting that many of the greatest shows of all time have very few idiotic moments, so it would be good if the team behind the hit Prime Video minimized the WTF scenes as much as possible. One of the most heartbreaking moments in Reacher plays out when the protagonist in a flashback scene to his days as a military policeman finds his proc, Dominique Cole, dead. We learn that she was captured, tortured, and murdered by Quinn after she tried to arrest him. As soon as Reacher finds Cole's body, he scours the compound for the villain and shoots him before pushing him down a cliff. Years later, it emerges that Quinn is still alive. Why? The bullet only got lodged in his skull. It didn't kill him. Shoot and go? Reacher is often portrayed as a meticulous person with a great understanding of his work. He also happens to know pretty much about human anatomy. Despite this, the show forces us to believe that Reacher, at close range, didn't know exactly where to shoot Quinn to ensure he was dead. And why push him down a cliff before confirming if he was still breathing or not? It not only doesn't make sense, but it's also very careless of him. Thou shalt not allow conspirators to get away. In one of the show's most laugh-out-loud moments, Jack Reacher realizes he won't be able to catch a man who is taking off in a vehicle. He thus disappears briefly, only for a grill to be thrown at the car from miles away, causing it to stop. Reacher is then seen running towards the car from a different direction from where the grill was thrown. Stop, or Reacher will throw a grill at you. You can't doubt that a man of Reacher's size has the strength needed to use a grill as a projectile. But you'll ask yourself why he isn't running in the same direction as where the grill came from. Such a scene belongs to critically panned TV shows, not a Prime Video hit. It's juvenile, unnecessary, and cartoonish. It's unclear what Lee Child thought of it, but it is safe to presume that he didn't approve of it either. Meticulous Reacher shocks viewers again by hiding Duffy's DIA badge in a pillowcase in his room in Beck's mansion. The protagonist recovers the badge during a shootout, and in his wisdom, he decides to hide it in a place where even a housekeeper can find it. Risky evidence. Ordinarily, Reacher never takes such chances. Why not just ditch the badge? Duffy can always get a replacement. Or why not hide it in the rocks near the sea next to the mansion? The former military police officer also misses his best chance to get rid of the badge. When he steps outside to meet Villanueva secretly, he still leaves it in his room. We understand that he is under immense pressure, but the military offers the kind of training useful for situations like those. Jack Reacher simply lucky, or are the bad guys just incompetent? It's improbable for all of them to be such poor marksmen, especially when dealing with a giant. Even an amateur could get at least one shot at someone like Reacher. It would be nice to see him treating bullet wounds a few times. After all, he seems like the kind of guy that would tolerate pain easily. Let's be real, Reacher is the kind of show that makes you want to punch a hole through drywall just for fun. With Alan Ritchson playing a walking tank of vengeance, the Amazon Prime series has carved out its own brand of hyper-macho, noir-tinged justice. But while it's undeniably fun, there are moments that gleefully toss logic into a dumpster and set it on fire. And honestly, we're here for it. Still, it's worth taking a step back and pointing out the most hilariously absurd scenes, because even Reacher's granite jaw can't chew through this much nonsense. Here are 8 of the most ridiculous moments in Reacher where all logic was thrown out the window. 1. The time Reacher used a toothpick to solve a murder. Remember that moment when Reacher surveyed a crime scene, found a broken toothpick on the ground, and deduced the height, shoe size, and snack preference of the killer? Okay, maybe not the snack part, but the man took one look at the floor and somehow reconstructed an entire backstory. We get it, he's observant. but Sherlock Holmes would have called BS and gone home. Logic score, 1/10. CS, I would like a word. 2. One-man army, no backup needed. Reacher regularly walks into situations that would make even the Expendables nervous. Armed with only a deadpan stare and biceps that probably have their own zip code, he takes on entire gangs without breaking a sweat. No plan, no backup, no fear, just raw violence and the occasional one-liner. It's cool, sure. But in reality, even the toughest guy would need a strategy. Or at least a helmet. Logic score, 0/10. Strategy? Never heard of her. 3. The magical shirt that never tears. It doesn't matter how many punches he takes, how many walls he crashes through, or how many times he's drenched in blood, the man's shirt is indestructible. Cotton shouldn't have plot armor, but here we are. Either he's sponsored by some secret military-grade clothing line, or that shirt is made from the same material as Captain America's shield. Logic score, 5/10. That shirt deserves its own spin-off. 4. Reacher, the human lie detector. In one memorable moment, Reacher hears a suspect pause slightly before saying a name and immediately calls out the lie with confidence. No hesitation. No real evidence. Just vibes. He doesn't use a polygraph. He is the polygraph. Apparently, years of military training also included advanced courses in psychic deduction. Logic score, 2/10. Even the FBI would be like, maybe we investigate first? 5. The villains who can't aim. Reacher walks into gunfire like he's allergic to bullets, yet somehow every goon misses him. Repeatedly. At this point, you start to wonder if all criminal organizations in the Reacher-verse exclusively hire people who failed at laser tag. Meanwhile, Reacher lands every punch, kick, and throw with perfect precision. Logic score, 1/10. It's like a video game on easy mode. 6. That time he predicted a crime based on pie. This one's a gem. In Season 1, Reacher walks into a diner, notices a guy skipping dessert, and somehow concludes he's a hitman preparing to kill someone. Because no one skips pie unless they're on edge. What kind of Mindhunter nonsense is that? I mean, maybe the guy just had a gluten allergy? Logic score, 3/10. FBI profiling meets the Food Network. 7. No cell service, but the plot moves anyway. Every time something crucial needs to happen, someone just happens to show up. Despite being in remote areas with no cell service, characters magically find each other, track each other, or show up just in time to deliver exposition. Reacher doesn't need GPS, he operates on sheer narrative gravity. Logic score, 2/10. Somewhere, a satellite is crying. 8. The infamous, I'll handle this scene. You know the one. A small army is approaching, explosions are imminent, and the smart move would be to regroup. Instead, Reacher gives the signature growl, I'll handle this. He then proceeds to beat down 10 guys with a tire iron and no plan. It's as if the scriptwriters had a button labeled Unleash Chaos and couldn't stop pressing it. Logic score, 0/10. Peak Reacher energy. Peak nonsense. Conclusion. Reacher doesn't just stretch logic, it body slams it into the pavement, dusts off its hands, and walks away in slow motion. But that's part of the charm. The show isn't here to teach lessons or follow rules. It's here to let a mountain of muscle dish out justice in the most gloriously ridiculous way possible. And honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. Want me to tweak the tone or add a couple of GIF-worthy lines? Slams it into the pavement, dusts off its hands, and walks away in slow motion. But that's part of the charm. The show isn't here to teach lessons or follow rules. It's here to let a mountain of muscle dish out justice in the